Hello everyone, it's a beautiful day here at my outdoor guppy setup. I have been breeding guppies for quite some time now. I started with just a few fish and eventually move on to breeding them indoors using multiple tanks. I was successful with my indoor setups, but over time, I ran into a major issue. The more guppies I breed, the more tanks I accumulated. And before I knew it, most areas of the house were filled with aquariums. On top of that, the electricity bills kept increasing, especially with all the fancy equipments needed to maintain and breed guppies. And with all the air pumps running non-stop, the house even started to sound like a submarine. That's when I decided to try a natural outdoor guppy setup. And it completely changed the way I keep and breed guppies. In today's video, I am going to share to you the 10 reasons why a natural outdoor setup breaks the traditional standard of guppy keeping. Number 1 is breeding guppies with less hassle but more efficient. Natural colony breeding redefines the standard of breeding guppies because it shifts control from the breeder to natural selection. Especially in my planted outdoor tub here where I raise platinum dumbo-ear red-tail guppies. So instead of separating pairs and forcing them to breed, that takes time and sometimes not really effective. With this type of setup, the adult males and females freely choose their mates, which reduces stress and leads to more active courtship and faster reproduction. And if you notice, multiple generations grow together in this self-sustaining environment, like adult guppies, juveniles, and baby guppies living together, which is not common in indoor setup. This method of keeping guppies proves that natural pairing and environmental balance can outperform traditional breeding setups. Number 2 is baby guppies grow side by side with breeder guppies. Baby guppies growing side by side with adults is the true colony life advantage. So instead of relying on traditional fry cages like what we have here that separate and confine newborns just like what we usually do before, which is actually a very practical and effective way but also adds hassle for us breeders. Luckily, this dense guppy grass I have in this tub creates a natural shelter system where fry can hide and explore safely. So in this planted outdoor setup, baby guppies roam freely from day one, learning to navigate their environment while feeding on microfauna and biofilm. Also in this setup, the strongest fry quickly adapt and grow faster while weaker ones may be naturally culled or eaten by adult guppies, allowing only the healthiest fry to survive and grow. This process builds a tougher, more resilient generation of guppies without constant human intervention. Number 3, no more multiple tank syndrome. A spacious tub like this tub transforms guppy breeding, not just keeping guppies but breed and grow together without separation. Unlike smaller tubs that I used before that can only hold a few guppies and also require constant moving and isolating, which is very hassle and stressful for guppies, a large planted tub gives adult males and females enough space to interact naturally, choose their mates, and raise multiple generations side by side with micromanaging your guppies. Number 4, stronger genetics, fewer culls. In this environment, females are free to choose the most vibrant, more active, and genetically strong males to fertilize their eggs. By the way, I read an article on the internet where it says, according to one study, there is a scientific research showing that female guppies do actually choose their mates based on male traits. So instead of forcing pairings that we usually do before, this natural mate selection that happened in this tub increases the chances of desirable traits like strong immune system, better growth rates, and intense coloration are passed on to the next generation. Number 5, guppy grass supports the whole ecosystem. In a planted outdoor guppy setup where it does far more than just sit there and look green, it acts as a natural filter by absorbing excess nutrients, helping stabilize water quality without relying heavily on artificial equipment. Its dense growth provides shelter for fry, which I already discussed earlier. And these plants create balanced environment where guppies can breed and grow together, while it also gives protection. This breaks the traditional standard of keeping guppies in bare tanks with minimal plant life and constant mechanical filtration. However, Regular trimming and maintenance are still important to prevent overgrowth, maintain enough room for fish, and ensure light reaches lower areas. By managing guppy grass properly, of course, you create a healthier, more self-sustaining system that works with nature. Number 6, dense guppy grass keeps algae under control. In a planted outdoor guppy setup like this, where guppy grass absorbs exist nitrates and waste, which is produced by guppies, and as a result, it leaves fewer resources or foods for unwanted algae to grow. And as you can see, we have minimal algae growth here on the sides. Although algae is not actually bad at all, but I would prefer more plants to dominate the tub than algae. By creating this natural competition and stability, dense guppy grass minimizes algae problems without the need for chemicals or constant scrubbing, making the ecosystem healthier and easier to manage. Number 7, minimal siphon and stable ecosystem. Instead of removing nearly 30% of the water like I usually did before, but now I only take out about 10%, which helps preserve stability. By disturbing less water, beneficial bacteria colonies remain intact, of which we all know that beneficial bacteria supports biological filtration and keeping ammonia and nitrites in check. In a way, by doing this, the guppy grass stays undisturbed, roots remain settled, and the fish experience less disturbance and less stress from sudden environmental changes. Since most waste accumulates in the feeding area, targeting this spot when siphoning is efficient and practical. This only takes me about 5 minutes, which I only do twice a week only. So this approach significantly reduces the hassle of maintenance. Number 8, minimal water changes straight from the top. A natural planted outdoor setup redefines the standard of fish keeping by proving that minimal water changes are enough to keep guppies healthy. Unlike before, where I usually do regular water changes for about 2 to 3 times a week, now even once a week is definitely fine. And thanks to these dense plants and beneficial bacteria and a balanced ecosystem, water straight from the tap can be added safely without causing stress or spikes in ammonia. There's no need for large, frequent changes like in traditional setups. This approach makes maintenance for easier and also less time-consuming and less stressful for guppies. Number 9, no oxygen needed. In a natural outdoor guppy setup, supplemental oxygen isn't really necessary unlike traditional fish tank because this type of environment where there is dense plants, sunlight, and microorganism naturally maintains water oxygen levels, especially plants where they produce good amount of dissolved oxygen in the morning. Anyway, even though I have a small air hose with minimal airflow here, the guppies thrive without it and could live perfectly fine if I remove it entirely. However, I prefer to keep it running though because it creates gentle water movement that makes the tub look lively and natural. Lastly, no expensive filters needed, just pure natural filtration. Unlike traditional fish tank setup, natural planted outdoor guppy setup doesn't need expensive filters because the ecosystem handles filtration on its own. These dense plants absorb existing nutrients, while beneficial bacteria break down waste, creating a self-sustaining system that keeps the water crystal clear. This natural filtration not only reduces maintenance but also promotes healthier and stronger guppies as they live in a stable, balanced environment that mimics their natural habitat. By relying on plants and bacteria instead of mechanical filters, the tub becomes simple, clean, and more effective for not just keeping guppies, but also breeding and raising guppies as well. My natural outdoor guppy tub setup truly redefines traditional guppy keeping, and every tub here follows the same principles: plants, beneficial bacteria, and space working together to create a balanced, self-sustaining environment. This way, my guppies grow healthier, stronger, and more vibrant, all while keeping maintenance simple and natural across all my tubs. That's all for today. Hopefully, you've learned a lot from this video, and thanks for watching.